Welcome back to Coronation Street, where emotions are running high and family bonds are tested to their limits. In tonight's intense episode, Sarah Barlow faces an unimaginable moment as she breaks life-changing news to her daughter, Bethany Platt. A mother's worst nightmare unfolds in a hospital room far from home, as Sarah fights against guilt, anger, and heartbreak. Let's dive into the gripping details of this unfolding drama, where secrets are revealed, relationships are strained, and a daughter's mistake becomes a family's crisis. But before we get into it, make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell so you never miss the latest updates on all your favorite Coronation Street drama. Now let's unravel the emotional turmoil that set Weatherfield ablaze this week. The tension kicked off earlier this week when Daniel Osborne received a shocking call. Bethany had been rushed to a hospital in Turkey after suffering severe complications from a secret liposuction procedure. Bethany's desire for a quick fix to her insecurities took a dangerous turn, leaving her battling sepsis, a life-threatening infection. Daniel immediately flew to Turkey to be by her side, leaving Sarah Barlow stranded back in Weatherfield due to her expired passport. As a mother, Sarah could only wait anxiously for updates, her mind racing with fears of the worst possible outcomes. Her frustration and helplessness were palpable. Unable to be with her daughter, she was trapped in a nightmare of her own making. Back in Weatherfield, the Platt family was in chaos. David Platt, always the protective brother, confronted Debbie Webster, suspecting she knew more than she was letting on. But Debbie insisted that Bethany's trip was only supposed to be for a PR job, never imagining it would lead to such a dire situation. When Sarah finally arrived at the Turkish hospital, what she found was far more devastating than she had feared. Daniel was waiting with grim news. Bethany's travel insurance was invalid because she hadn't disclosed her plans for surgery. The mounting medical bills would have to be paid up front, totaling £15,000 for the surgery, and an additional £2,000 for each day Bethany remained hospitalized. This shocking revelation only added to Sarah's growing fury and despair. Emotions reached a boiling point as Sarah turned on Daniel, blaming him for Bethany's reckless decision. She accused him of being distracted by his ongoing issues with ex-girlfriend Daisy, arguing that his divided attention had left Bethany vulnerable and alone. The tension between Sarah and Daniel was palpable, each pointing fingers and struggling with their own guilt. "You were supposed to be there for her," Sarah shouted, her voice cracking with the weight of her worry. "She's the most beautiful girl, but somehow she didn't think she was good enough. She was insecure about her body, and that's your fault." But Daniel, refusing to betray Daisy's confidence, kept his silence on their conversation, fueling Sarah's anger even further. Sarah's accusations cut deep, blaming Daniel not just for his absence, but for the underlying insecurities that had driven Bethany to this dangerous decision. The episode took a heartbreaking turn as Sarah received an update from Bethany's doctor. The damage caused by the botched surgery was severe. Bethany would need a stoma bag for the rest of her life due to extensive damage to her bowel. The news was devastating, and the reality of Bethany's condition finally sunk in. Sarah returned to Bethany's bedside, her voice trembling as she explained the harsh truth. "There was a lot of damage to your bowel," Sarah told her daughter, struggling to keep her composure. Bethany's eyes filled with tears as she tried to grasp the permanence of her new reality. The young woman, who once felt so insecure about her body, now faced a future forever altered by a split-second decision. As Bethany broke down in tears, Sarah was there to comfort her, holding her close despite the anger and frustration that had consumed them both. The bond between mother and daughter shone through in that moment, stronger than the fear, the guilt, and the overwhelming sadness. Sarah's heartache was evident. This was not just about Bethany's health, but about the deep-rooted insecurities that had pushed her to make such a dangerous choice. As the episode ended, Sarah and Bethany were left grappling with the consequences of one reckless act, a powerful reminder of how fragile life can be, and how, in times of crisis, family is all we truly have. This week's Coronation Street has left viewers reeling as Sarah Barlow's devastating news to Bethany Platt unfolded with raw emotion and gripping drama. It's a story of mistakes, forgiveness, and the fierce love of a mother trying to protect her daughter from the harshest realities of life. What's next for Sarah, Bethany, and the rest of the Platt family? Only time will tell.